Sports fans, we are live. Welcome to the Sports Behavior Podcast. I'm your host, as always, OG the Beast. Y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all already know how we rocking. If you think I'm speaking that nonsense, holla at me down in them comments, man. Don't forget to sub to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. If you can't catch these live, man, y'all already know where they gonna be. Shout out to the loyals in the chat, man. Shout out to the loyals on YouTube, man, if y'all still rocking, man. Dubs in the chat if y'all still rocking. I really appreciate y'all. I really appreciate them loyals on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still been watching. Look, I know I've been MIA. I know I've been missing in action. You know what I'm saying? I've been a little bit missing in action. That's going to change. I had a lot going on over the past few weeks. For those that don't know, I got invited out to the draft. You know, the Las Vegas and the NFL invited me out to the draft. Me and a couple of other creators invited us out to the draft, and we had a blast, y'all. We had a blast. I got to see my Eagles get their picks in. I got to see, you know, a bunch of stuff go down, man. It was an exciting experience. And shit, I wish I can go every year now. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to stay away from the NFL draft now. That shit was popping. I mean, they had all type of events going on, from a whole combine simulator, y'all. They had people running a 40-yard dash, the high jump, the vertical leap. They had everything you could think of literally at the NFL draft, man. It was an incredible experience, and I just want to thank and give a big shout-out to Las Vegas. Big shout-out to the NFL for recognizing me and me being one of the guys to go out there and promote the show. It was a hell of a show. Shout-out to the loyals up in here, man. Elite Beast Gaming. Diesel was popping. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been here from the jump, man. I really appreciate y'all, you know, and everybody that decided to join the stream. But we got a lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot to talk about. And I want to touch on a few things. First and foremost, my Eagles. My Eagles. We did some amazing things, man, especially during this draft. Jordan Davis. Shout out to Jordan Davis, man. Another defensive tackle. Y'all know my Eagles love our defensive tackles. We love the defensive line in general. We love our defensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? Saucy, I remember you, bro. I remember you. You know what I'm saying? What's popping? How y'all feeling? You know what I'm saying? But my Eagles, man, we love our defensive linemen. That's just what we do. We drafted another one with our first-round pick, an elite talent, you know, a guy that Fletcher Cox is going to mentor and show him the ropes. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully he'll be able to produce right out of the gate. But the steal of the draft was Nakobe Dean. The steal of the draft was Nakobe Dean without a shadow of a doubt. We got a linebacker that we desperately needed. He's a pass rushing linebacker a little bit from what I've been seeing. But, you know, hold on. We got a phone call during the middle of the situation. One second. You know, this live, ladies and gentlemen. I got to let people know this ain't the move. You know what I'm saying? It's not the time right now. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? We got our linebacker. We got Nakobe Dean. I'm extremely happy about that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got a lot of young talent. But the biggest young talent that we got in the draft was A.J. Brown. I don't know how the Eagles was able to do it, but we was able to pull off a trade with the Tennessee Titans to acquire their best wide receiver in A.J. Brown. So now we got an offense that look like A.J. Brown. We got Smith, we got Brown, we got Boobie Miles, we got – look, I'm going to tell you like this. Front and center, as an Eagles fan, I'm going to tell you just like this. Look, Eagles to the chip, I wouldn't leap that far. But I will say this. Jalen Hurts. D. Smitty, facts. Jalen Hurts, this is your year. Because as an Eagles fan, I do not give up on my quarterbacks quickly. You know, I'm attached. You know, once you with us, you with us. You know, I'm still attached to Carson. He gave us some good years. You know, I still believe in Carson. He's back in our division. So, this, you know, with the Commanders, we're going to see what that happens. We get to see him twice a year. But I'm still in on Carson. Now, Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts. But let's be real talk, Eagles fans. If Jalen Hurts does not produce at the level that he is supposed to produce at this year, we got to start looking for a quarterback. He's gone, and I'm campaigning for that. So, Jalen, I need you to step up and be that guy. Because you got everything you need around you. You got a solid offensive line. You got weapons. What else do you need? You got running backs. We got everything. We shoring up this defense. I'm mad we didn't get our hands on Tyrann Mathieu. But Jalen Hurts, definitely. Elite Beast, Jalen Hurts has to step up this year. If Jalen Hurts does not step up and be the quarterback that we need him to be, he's gone. You heard it here first. He's out of here. They not going to sign his extension because I think this would be Jalen's third year, so his contract is up after this year. He's still on his rookie deal. We cannot afford to have this much talent on offense being wasted, albeit we are young. We're very young, but I need Jalen Hurts to hit that developmental leap next season. I'm not waiting. Our coach is mid, but got to do better this year. Definitely. I mean, we're going to see. We're going to see how things work out. Defensively, offensively, actually, somebody put out a report of the power rankings this year already, premature power rankings, post-draft power rankings, and they had us at 12. They had the Cowboys at 19. They had us at 12. I'm not mad at that. I'm not saying we're going to win it all. I'm not saying we got enough skill to compete at a high level, but we could be serviceable. If not win the division, at least come in second place. We could get 10 wins next year if Jalen Hurts takes the developmental leap. Real talk. That's just how I feel about it. To be real talk with you, that's just how I feel about it. How you feeling about the Jags pick? Trayvon Walker, however you pronounce his name? Yeah, dope. You know what I'm saying? This is like the first draft in a long time where a quarterback wasn't taken in the top 10 or some shit like that. The last time I could really vividly remember was I think Geno Smith draft, or the same draft that other black quarterback was in. I forget his name, Edwards, something like that. I can't think of his name, but that was the last draft where I remember looking at like, damn, they really not about to select a quarterback early. And this was one of those drafts. So it was defense heavy, a lot of corners, a lot of wide receivers in this draft, defensive linemen in this draft. You know what I'm saying? So you say Steelers winning the chip. Hey, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I've been saying the Eagles are going to win the division. I stand by that. Hey, can't wait to see Jalen go crazy this oncoming season. I can't wait either. Saucy, I hope you're 100% accurate because Jalen Hurts needs to go crazy this year. Remember that year Carson had in his second year? MVP type year before he got hurt? That's what I want to see in Jalen in his second full season as the Eagles starting quarterback. I don't want to see nothing short of that. The schemes that we run, we need to get more schematic towards his skill set. I do agree with that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the Eagles, we need to draw up more plays to get his legs involved instead of him having to improvise, kind of like Greg Roman does with Lamar Jackson. Even though the Ravens fans are campaigning for Greg Morgan to get the hell out of town, but we need play calling like that for Jalen Hurts, in my opinion. And speaking of Jalen Hurts, staying on the football, I was sifting through TikTok, right? And it made me laugh because I'm a guy that's watched the GOAT, Tom Brady, his entire career. I've watched Tom Brady his entire career from the moment he got on the field due to that injury to Trent Green. Not Trent Green. That was Warren Sapp. Who? Drew Bledsoe. I'm sorry. Excuse my French. From the moment Drew Bledsoe got hit on that sideline until now with the Buccaneers, I watched his entire career, right? I'm sifting through TikTok and I see Tom Brady say it was a little stitch, and it said the guy said name something you never wanted to tell the truth about, but you feel comfortable about saying it now. And Brady actually confessed to the tuck rule being a fumble. I said, duh, appreciate the gift of subs, man. 5 months. Appreciate the gift of subs, my brother. Brady admitted to the tuck rule being a fumble. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with the tuck rule is essentially what started the dynasty in New England. Without the tuck rule, the Patriots get eliminated in that game because they were down a field goal when that happened. I remember like it was an hour ago. The New England Patriots were down a field goal when that happened. Adam Vinatieri was going crazy. It was hot. The tuck rule happens. Charles Woods comes, blindside, strips the ball. Ball's loose, but Tom Brady is moving his arm forward as the ball's being lodged out, and it definitely was an obvious fumble. But they called it the tuck rule. And the refs, went with the call, continued. Brady would get a field goal that would send Vinatieri would kick a field goal that would send the game to overtime. In overtime, Patriots won the coin toss. And, of course, y'all know the rest. Vinatieri goes down and kicks like a 23-yard field goal to win the game. That was the divisional round of the playoffs. Now, the Patriots still had to execute in the next two games, which they ended up doing. But I think, honestly, the toughest competition that they had to worry about all playoffs was that Oakland Raider team. That team was stout defensively and offensively. If anybody had a legitimate shot and was the favorites to win the Super Bowl in 2001, it was the Oakland Raiders, led by that quarterback over there, Rich Gannon. He was a dog. Gardner. They had dogs on both sides of the field. So it's like the Patriots escaped with one, and they knew that. I think the next round they were going to face Pittsburgh. They beat Pittsburgh, and in the NFC, the Eagles faced who did we see? The Eagles saw St. Louis Rams. We lost to the greatest show on turf by like 4 or 5 points, and the Super Bowl was greatest show on turf versus the New England Patriots, and we all know what happened in that game. So to hear Tom Brady confess finally, because he led to it, he alluded to it, but it was never like, you know what? They missed that call. Tom Brady never openly came out and said, look, they missed that call. And there's nothing they could do about it. It's not like they're going to Reggie Bush him. They're not going to go back and take the title away from him. So it's like, damn, Tom Brady, you could at least give us the benefit of the doubt and say, look, they missed that call. Like the Dez catch. To me, by the rule book, Dez Bryant's catch wasn't a catch. So they got the ruling on the field right, if you ask me. And that's just not because I'm an Eagles fan. That's just because the rule book stated you had to maintain possession all the way down to the ground. TC Smooth, appreciate the gifted subs. Appreciate that, man. It says you had to, better late than never, TC. You had to maintain possession all the way through the ground. That's the rule book with the Dez Bryant catch. Dez caught the ball, turned around, reached for the pylon, fell, and the ball got lodged out. He didn't make a football move. Really, he didn't make a football move. So the Dez, but after that, they changed the rule, which is fine, whatever. But they made the rule more clear. Stuff like the Calvin Johnson in the back of the end zone where he was trying to get up, puts the ball in the ground, and it pops out. They call it incomplete. Shit like that wasn't going to be incomplete no more. So if we going by the rules of today, after them changing the rule, of course it's a catch. But according to the rules of what it was when Dez Bryant made that catch, or lack thereof, it was not a catch. And I stand by that. Go look at the highlight clip. Go look at the clip. Dez Bryant did not maintain possession all the way through the ground, point blank period. So that's just what it is, though. And even after that, though, the NFL later went on and said, hey, we missed that call. That probably should have been a catch, blah, 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 blah. Tom Brady never gave us the benefit of that doubt. Never gave us the benefit of that doubt until yesterday when I saw that TikTok and Tom Brady confessed to that tuck rule actually being a fumble. That's crazy. That is crazy. Let me. What y'all think? Was that tuck rule a fumble? Was that Dez Bryant catch a catch? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments right now. I need to know y'all opinion on this. I really want to know what y'all got to say about this because I got my opinion. I feel like watching that divisional game, you know what I'm saying? Watching that divisional game, definitely that tuck rule most definitely should not have been called in that position. Tom Brady clearly pump fake, came back down with the ball, repositioned, got sacked, and dropped it. It was a clear fumble in my opinion. And that's what started the dynasty. Because I tell you this, if the Oakland Raiders go to the Super Bowl that year, no doubt about it, they beat the greatest show on turf. No doubt. With that defense they had, with that offense they had, they would have beat the greatest show on turf. No doubt about it. Flat like that. But I was looking at ESPN earlier, and a few things came across my mind. I seen Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith talking about whether or not the Lakers should trade LeBron. And people were giving their opinions on it. And I'm just sitting here listening to this shit like, really? Like, should they really actually trade LeBron James or at least consider trading LeBron? Because the way this team performed last year or this year, even with all the injuries, you know what I mean? Like, were they actually given a fair shake to perform at the level that everybody thought they would, or should I say expected that they would? Anthony Davis was out. LeBron James was in and out of the lineup. He only played like 56 games this year. Russell Westbrook was completely ass. They had no shooting. Nobody wanted to play a lick of defense. The Lakers was just garbage. So people were saying, hey, if they can't get it right as soon as next season, they need to blow this shit up. And some are considering, hey, maybe they should blow this shit up now. Rebuild instead of building a team around a 37-year-old. Now, Saucy, I hear you. But that 37-year-old is LeBron James. Now, I don't think the Lakers are trying to build around LeBron. You got to remember who the Los Angeles Lakers are. For those of you that are unfamiliar, I suggest you go watch Winning Time. Winning Time is 100% a great watch. I might start doing reviews live on Twitch about Winning Time, but I don't want to spoil it for y'all because it's that damn good. Go watch Winning Time, and if you haven't started, binge watch it. It's on HBO Max. Go watch Winning Time. It tells a great story about Magic and the Showtime Lakers. That should tell you what type of organization these guys are. Think about it. The Lakers like superstars. You could take it all the way back, 60s, 70s. What did they do? Jerry West, and then they acquired Wilt Chamberlain, and that's when they won a chip, right? 70s, they had Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain. Then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar went there in like 76. They go after superstars. And we're talking about a guy that already won a ring, multiple MVPs, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Then they drafted Magic in 1980. Magic in 1980, rookie. He's a superstar. The Lakers' worst period was like a 6-year gap after Magic left, and like Magic retired after he lost to Jordan with the AIDS situation. 91, right? 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. So let's count those years. 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. That's a 5-year span where they was ass. But then what did they do? They went to go get Shaq and Jerry West traded for Kobe Bryant in the draft. They shoot for superstars. Let's go through the rest of their history. 96, 97, 98, 99, they competitive. 2000, they win. 2001, they win. 2002, they win. Shaq and Kobe are now superstars. 03, 04, 05 is their worst year. Right after Shaq left in 2005, Kobe struggles. So now what do? They have a bad year, 06, 07, make the playoffs, barely. Then they go get Pau Gasol. Immediately after they go get Pau Gasol, they go to 3 consecutive championships. Lakers don't build through the draft, man. This is what they do. This is what the Los Angeles Lakers do. They go for superstars. Then they go to the NBA championship 8, 9, and 10. They win 2 out of 3, 11, 12, 13, 4, even 11, 12. What they do, 13. They went to 14. They went to go get Steve Nash, Dwight Howard, Kobe Bryant to pair up, get them a little triplets, try to make a big 3. They go after superstars. This is what they do. Anthony Davis' street clothes case, they helped. This is what they do. Then, 14, 15, 16, Kobe's on the back end of his career. So they basically unwind in there. They do some great drafting. B.I., Lonzo Ball, all of these guys that they got out of D'Angelo Russell. They do some great drafting throughout those years, but then they mortgage their future because they have an opportunity at arguably the greatest player to ever play this game. That's what the Lakers do. So to sit here and say, now, with Jeannie Buss still in charge, that the Los Angeles Lakers should trade LeBron James, which is the biggest superstar the game's seen over the past 20 years, For what? Draft capital? A few good, young, talented players? That's not what they do, ladies and gentlemen. Trade Anthony Davis for who? Young talent? Draft capital? That is not what they do, ladies and gentlemen. I just gave you their entire history. The Los Angeles Lakers do not do that. They are a team that trades young talent and young assets. If they not building up one that's, generational talent, they looking for another superstar to trade with. Trade LeBron James and AD for young players and maybe get a superstar in the draft. I mean, what superstar is coming out of the draft in the next 3 to 4 seasons? LeBron isn't even a top 10 player healthy in the league. I believe he is. LeBron is old. Trade LeBron James for young players. I wouldn't say he's not top 10. I still think LeBron is a top 5 player in this league. He just plays lackluster defense as of right now. But I think LeBron James is a top 5 player in this league. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't go that far as to say he's not top 10. Like, I think that's a little rough. You being a little rough, Saucy. You being a little saucy right now, Saucy. To say LeBron ain't top 10, he's definitely he's top 5 in my opinion. Let's go through it. I mean, we could go through it. See, I'm a guy that gets biased towards playoff time. I'm not gonna lie. I do get biased towards playoff time because I love playoff performers. Damn what you did in the regular season. I love playoff performers. And if you're not a guy that knows how to perform in the playoffs when the lights is bright, to me, you fugazi. That's why I'm falling in love with Ja Morant. Luka Doncic is just the ultimate playoff performer. I'm falling in love with these guys because they know how to perform in the playoffs. When the seat gets hot, do you stand up or do you figure out a way to navigate? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm in love with that. So I get it. But to be honest with you, I mean, LeBron, let's go through it right now. You said LeBron James ain't top 10. So if we're going through the top 10, who you got number 1? I got Giannis, all right? He has to be in the top 10. No particular order, or should we put it in order? No particular order. All-time LeBron solos just right now. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I'm saying right now. Joel is definitely in there. So we got Giannis. We got Joel Embiid. We got Kevin Durant. We got Joker. We got, I think, Luka Doncic is definitely in the top 10. Steph. Ja Morant. I said KD already. We had 7. I give them their fair shake. To be honest with you. Anthony Edwards, I wouldn't put him in the top 10. I wouldn't put Anthony Edwards in the top 10. Let's see. We got Ja Morant in there. So, I mean, LeBron James is definitely top 10. Yeah, that's why I say maybe soon, but not right now. LeBron is definitely top 10. There's no question about it. Karl Anthony Towns, that's a stretch. I like Jalen. I like Jalen in there too. Boston Celtics. Jalen. Damn, why is this name slipping my mind? Not Jalen. Jason Tatum. Not Jaylen Brown. I think Jaylen Brown is on the outside looking in, but he's real close. Even if you wanted to put Kyrie close to that, in that Jaylen Brown, Kyrie, that's 8. Jaylen Brown. Let me see. Brown, not yet. I think he's on the outside looking in, right on the outside looking in. But Tatum, yeah. Tatum, yeah, definitely. Tatum proved he's a top 10 player this year. If you want to throw Harden in there, I don't know. Harden been playing kind of fugazi. I think Harden is done, low key. I think Harden might be Harden's best. I ain't gonna say Harden's done. I already said Luka. I ain't gonna say Harden's done, but I'm gonna say his best years are behind him. That's what I'm gonna definitely say. I'm gonna say James Harden's best years are definitely behind him. I don't see Butler. That's a stretch, but Butler's a stretch, but damn, that's tough. What about Paul George? Y'all think Paul George in the top 10? Kawhi, we forgot to mention. What about Paul George? Speaking of Luka Doncic, Donovan Mitchell, no. Kawhi, yes, I would put. Donovan Mitchell, no. I think Donovan Mitchell is one of the most overrated players in the NBA. But the thing about it, though, I saw a TikTok earlier compare Ja Morant to Luka Doncic. And I'm not mad at it because I feel like it's a fair comparison considering how these guys both came in together. They both, in their third year, they both play exquisitely in the regular season, exquisitely in the playoffs. So it's like I'm not doubting that. I'm not mad at that. So if we compare the two players, Luka Doncic during the regular season was 29-9-9. But Luka's also 33-6-10 in the playoffs this season. You see how his play elevated when he got to the playoffs? Ja Morant was 27-6-5 throughout the season. He's 26-10-8 right now. So his points went down, his assists went up, his rebounds went up. So players are supposed to elevate when they get to the playoffs. But Luka's shooting 50% from the field and 40% from three, which is higher than what it was in the regular season. Ja Morant, on the other hand, is shooting 30% from three and 41% from the field. And this is not a guy that takes perimeter shots. So he's shooting 41% from the field in the playoffs. That's tough. So really, anybody that's trying to tell me Luka Doncic is not better than Ja Morant, you're crazy. I know the Ja Morant hype train is high right now. It's hype right now. But to tell me you would take Ja over Luka, you're crazy. Give me Luka Doncic all day long, and I don't think it should be a discussion. Point blank, period. Luka has to take all the shots. I mean, I like Jalen Brunson, you know what I'm saying? But they don't utilize him enough. They run like a little ISO 5-out type situation where if Luka's in the game, he's running the floor. And then when Jalen Brunson's in the game, they take Luka out and he's running the floor. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like that James Harden type offense. It works for them, even though they down 0-2 to Phoenix right now. It's working. It works for them. They just need, I don't know what that team needs. Luka can be hard to play with because of his play. But I don't know, man. I don't know. And we saw, what the Mavericks look like without Luka during the regular season, even though Jalen Brunson picked it up towards the, in the playoffs. But we saw what they looked like during the regular season without Luka. We saw. So, I mean, I'm not trying to hear nothing about no Luka Doncic not being that guy. Luka's that guy, pal. He's definitely that guy. But give me Luka Doncic over Ja Morant all day long. Now, last but not least, before we get the hell out of here, this is a short stream. I ain't going to hold y'all too long. I'm not going to hold y'all too long. I seen something that said, NBA Twitter. I was on NBA Twitter, and my boy OJ Knows actually made a video about it. And he said, what's more disappointing? The Nets getting swept by the Celtics or the Lakers not making the playoffs at all? I'm going to ask y'all first. What y'all think is more disappointing between the two? The actual fact that the Nets were to make it and get swept the way that they did? Hell, even Giannis got a game. The Nets getting swept or the Lakers not making the playoffs at all? Mind you, the LA Lakers were the favorites to win it all this year, and they didn't make the playoffs. Also, the Nets had some similar issues as well. Kyrie Irving in and out of the lineup. The Nets were actually projected to come out of the East to face the Lakers in the NBA Finals. But the thing about that is Kyrie was in and out of the lineup. And when they made this prediction, it was based upon the fact that James Harden would be playing for the squad. James Harden is not playing for this team. He's in Philadelphia. And the guy that they got for James Harden ain't played a snap. He ain't played a minute. So I'm not trying to give Kevin Durant a pass, but KD did average some solid numbers in this playoffs, even though he shot bad. His numbers in these playoffs right now are actually better than Giannis and very similar to Giannis's playoff performance. But we give Kevin Durant a whole lot of flack. And we're not saying nothing about Giannis right now, who's having a similar series against the Celtics? When are we going to stop and give credit where credit is due? And just admit the fact that the Boston Celtics are those dudes. We literally have to look back and say, look, the Boston Celtics defensively, stout. The defensive game plan surrounding Kevin Durant was exquisite. How they matched up with him with a 6'9", 6'10" Jason Tatum and made Jalen Brown be the help defense when he's probably the best defender on the team. I know Marcus Smart won Defensive Player of the Year, but we're going to throw him on Kyrie, and we're going to put Jalen Brown on Joe Schmo wanna blow and let him be the help defender off of Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was seeing doubles and triples all night. Nobody else could capitalize, and that's the difference between Kevin Durant in this series and Giannis Antetokounmpo in his series. Giannis's guys are capitalizing off the double teams coming from Giannis. Those guys in Brooklyn were not capitalizing off the fact of Kevin Durant being double teamed. That is a problem. So if you ask me what's more disappointing, to me it's the fact that the Lakers didn't make the playoffs at all. And it's not like the Lakers didn't make the playoffs, like how Steph didn't make the playoffs last year, but technically he did, but he really didn't. It wasn't like that. Because if it was like that, I would pick the Nets. But it's the simple fact that not only did they not make the playoffs, they didn't even have a shot at the play-in tournament. That's what's disgusting about this whole situation. So if you asking me to be 100 with you, you want me to be 100 with you? It's 1,000% the fact that LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis, for whatever time he was there, missed the playoffs and the play-in, but Kobe Bryant with Rodney Turioff as his second option and Smush Parker can make the 8th seed? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. If Rodney Turioff, Smush Parker, and Kobe Bryant can make the playoffs, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis should make the playoffs as well. Especially, I'll answer that in a second, especially with the East being better than the West for the first time in over a decade. The East is way stiffer than the West right now, and they still couldn't get over the hump. TC Smooth say, isn't this the second time LeBron didn't make the playoffs, or the third? LeBron missed the playoffs his first 2 years, his rookie and his sophomore year. He missed the playoffs. Then he missed the playoffs again with the Lakers in the first season. He was with the Lakers when he had that groin injury, and then he just missed the playoffs last year. So that's the fourth time LeBron James missed the playoffs. So, yeah, J-Rock got it. J-Rock got it, but it's just crazy, man. It's any questions y'all got for me, man, before we get the hell on up out of here, man? I ain't going to hold y'all too long. I just wanted to come in here and randomly chit-chat with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Whoever wanted to pull up to show some love, just randomly chit-chat with y'all. So if y'all got any questions or anything for me, you know, anything you want to ask, you know what I'm saying, just shoot it, and we gonna skedaddle, man. We got some playoffs to watch. Like the title, the title was from like the last time I was on stream. I didn't mean to put that. So what's your playoff prediction? My bracket is doing pretty good. What do you think about Ryan Tannehill's comments? Ryan Tannehill's comments are real similar to what Brett Favre said about Aaron Rodgers. He said the same thing when they asked him, you know, they drafted a guy in the first round. What do you think about it? Is it your job to mentor him? Are you going to show him the ropes? And Brett Favre flat out said it. It is not my job to mentor him. If he were to learn some things from me, just from being around me, that's fine. But it's not my job to mentor him. He said it before, and he said it after he left Green Bay. Ryan Tannehill just basically reiterated his words. Now, I have no issues with what Ryan Tannehill said whatsoever. Think about it. They want you to mentor a guy to potentially take your job and leave you elsewhere. So why would I waste my time mentoring somebody to be next up in my position? Now, if Ryan Tannehill was a Tennessee Titan guy, you know, he was drafted to the Miami Dolphins. So if he was a Tennessee Titan guy, like a guy where he could see himself, you know, leaving the Titans, retiring as a Titan, and then like being in the front office or a head, some type of coach for the organization, then yeah, you should want to mold that guy. But I don't think that's Ryan Tannehill. I think he feel like he still got a lot left in the tank, and he don't want to, you know what I'm saying, concede his position to a rookie, because that's the worst thing you could do is lose your job to a rookie. And I don't think Tannehill want to lose his job to a rookie. So I feel him. Hell no, I'm not helping this dude out. I'm not. Like, it just makes the perfect sense. You think he whack for that? I don't know. You know, I don't mind it. I don't think he whack for that. Sounds like he can read the writing on the wall. Definitely. It's his job to lose at this point. And they took a guy in the second round that's here to take your job. And he just so happens to be the most popular quarterback coming out of this draft. So it's neither here nor there, man. Shout out to everybody who stopped through the draft, man. If y'all can't catch it here live on Twitch, y'all know where it's at. I'm not even giving y'all days no more, man. I'm not even giving y'all days. I'm just popping on here randomly to have a discussion with y'all, chop it up with y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? If you still rocking with me, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody stopping through. Shout out to them loyals over there on YouTube as well, man. I love each and every single one of y'all that stopped through on y'all Friday night, man. Y'all didn't have to do it, but y'all did it. I appreciate every single one of y'all that stopped through. Y'all already know what it is, man. OG out.